Some men come back from hell with nothing but mud on their boots and the song they no longer trust. The Greeks had a name for one of them, Orpheus. The singer whose music could charm beasts, soften stone, and make the underworld itself listen. But this is not the marble Orpheus. No clean lyre, no clean tragedy, no clean return. This Orpheus comes back with a black electric guitar, ash-stained fingers, and a rhythm the dead fail to bury. They call him the underworld FunkKing. And waiting on the road is a Khajiit, one of the moon-marked people of elsewhere, desert-born, cat-like, caravan-wise, often treated as a stranger before soul. He carries wares, bells, tea, blue beads, and the memory of warm sands. He has slept outside gates that would not open. He has been watched by people who only saw a thief, a merchant, a foreign thing with clever eyes. And yet, he still has warmth left to give. This is where they meet. A singer who came back from the abyssal depths, a wanderer who never stopped carrying home. A crossroad with 3 roads, cold, burning, blue, and a question neither of them says out loud. What do you become when the world has taken something from you, but not everything? At the crossroad there was no signpost, only 3 roads. One road went north, where the snow chewed on stone and spat out silence. One road went south, where heat rose from the ground like an old god breathing through cracked teeth. One road went nowhere at all. It simply curved into fog, humming faintly, as if someone had buried a bass line into the dirt and forgotten to turn it off. There, beneath a moon that looked half stolen, stood the underworld FunkKing Orpheus. Not the old Orpheus, not the one with clean lyre, clean hands, clean tragedy. This Orpheus wore a coat stitched from funeral velvet and stage-like glitter. His boots were caked with grave mud. Around his neck hung a broken golden pick. His hair smelled faintly of smoke, incense, and burnt sugar. In his hand was not a lyre, but a black guitar with bone-white frets, humming like it remembered every song ever played for someone who did not stay. He had come from below, not triumphantly, not defeated either, just walking. Walk, 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 walk. Behind him, the underworld still pulsed with drums. Ahead of him, the roads waited. He stopped at the middle of the crossing and looked down. The dust beneath his feet was neither cold nor hot.
That's new,
he muttered. From the southern road came the sound of bells. Not temple bells, not funeral bells, small caravan bells. A Khajiit stopped from the dark, wrapped in faded desert cloth, tail moving slowly behind him like a thought that had not yet chosen its shape. His eyes caught the moonlight and kept some of it. He carried a packful of wares, moon sugar tins, old maps, little brass idols, blue glass beads, lockpicks, incense, river shells, dried fruit, a knife too pretty to be honest, and a wooden flute carved with moons. The Khajiit looked at Orpheus. Orpheus looked at the Khajiit. For a while, neither spoke. The crossroad hummed. Then the Khajiit smiled.
This one sees a man who has argued with the dead.
Orpheus snorted.
Lost the argument too.
Ah, said the Khajiit. There he is, alive. Orpheus tilted his head.
That's supposed to comfort me.
No, said the Khajiit. Only to name the weather. The FunkKing laughed once, dry as bone percussion.
Fair enough.
The Khajiit lowered his pack beside a stone and sat. Come, sit. Roads are greedy things. They can wait a little.
I don't sit much anymore.
That is because you think stopping means surrender. Orpheus stared at him. The Khajiit began unpacking a small kettle. Orpheus said,
You always talk like that?
This one talks as he must. Some people need plain words. Some people need riddles. Some need silence. Some needs tea before truth enters the room.
Truth drinks tea?
truth drinks whatever, let it avoid fools. Orpheus laughed again. This time it came from the chest. He sat. The Khajiit made a little fire from dry twigs that were not there a moment before. The flames rose blue, then orange, then ordinary. The kettle began to sing softly. Orpheus watched it.
Where are you headed?
He asked. The Khajiit shrugged. North, perhaps south, perhaps away, often, toward, sometimes.
That's not an answer.
It is the most honest answer. Orpheus leaned back.
You from the desert?
Yes.
You miss it.
The Khajiit paused, stilled. The kettle kept singing. Yes, he said. Orpheus waited for more. The Khajiit looked down the southern road where the horizon trembled with impossible warmth. There are sands that remember the foot kindly, he said. There is sun that does not interrogate the skin. There are nights where the moons hang low, enough that even sorrow becomes silver. There are old cities under dunes, swallowed whole, yet not dead, only sleeping. Everything there knows how to vanish and remain. Orpheus looked away.
Sounds nice.
It was home.
Was?
The Khajiit poured into 2 chipped cups. Home is a cruel word when the road has educated you. Orpheus took the cup. His fingers was still marked with underworld ash.
Yeah, I know something about cruel words.
The Khajiit sipped. You had one too?
A home?
A song. Orpheus smiled without joy.
I had a song I thought could bring someone back.
And did it? For a while. Ah, said the Khajiit, the most dangerous kind of miracle. Orpheus's jaw tightened. The guitar beside him let out a low, ugly note.
She didn't wait.
The Khajiit did not answer. Orpheus looked at the fire. I walked through every black hall they had, sang to shadows, sang to judges, sang to the stupid dead river itself. Every step I kept thinking, don't turn, don't doubt, don't look back. I thought the whole game was faith. Hold the line, keep walking, prove the song. The fire cracked, but when I reached the end, there was no one behind me. The Khajiit's ears lowered slightly. Then the underworld took more than a beloved. Orpheus laughed softly.
Beloved. Nah, don't even know if that word survived the trip.
What did it take then? Orpheus looked up.
The shape of the road.
The Khajiit nodded slowly. Yes, that is worse. The 2 sat under the moon. Snow whispered somewhere far north. Heat shimmered somewhere far south. The third road hummed. Orpheus drank the tea. It tasted like smoke, cardamom, and something blue.
What is this?
Memory, mostly.
Expensive?
Very. This one give it free to those who look like they may bite the moon otherwise. Orpheus smiled.
You peddle tea and prophecy at crossroads.
This one peddles many things. Tea, prophecy, knives, lies, spices, stories, small gods, bad advice, good advice disguised as bad advice.
And what do people buy?
Usually knives and lies.
Sounds about right.
The Khajiit smiled. And you, what does the underworld FunkKing sell? Orpheus looked at his guitar.
Noise.
No.
Grief with bass.
No.
Songs for people who left.
No. Orpheus looked annoyed.
Then what?
The Khajiit pointed one claw at the guitar. You sell proof that the dead did not get everything. The words landed. Orpheus did not move. The crossroad went quite in that sudden way the world does when it hears something true and pretends it was just wind. The Khajiit continued gently. You walked below. You returned without what you sought, yet the song came back with you. This is not nothing. Orpheus' mouth twisted.
It feels like nothing.
Yes, said the Khajiit. That is because grief is a poor accountant. The FunkKing stared at him, then barked aloud.
Grief is a poor accountant.
Yes, always miscounts, calls one loss everything, calls one wound the whole body, calls one closed door the death of all roads. Very dramatic, bad with numbers. Orpheus laughed harder now, unwillingly. The guitar hummed brighter.
You are annoying,
he said. This one has been told.
but not wrong.
This one has been told this less often. The fire bent in the wind. For a moment, Orpheus saw the Khajiit not as a merchant, not as some road-cursed wanderer with clever eyes, but as something older, a keeper of embers, a creature who had slept outside too many city gates and still learned how to bless the road. Orpheus said, quieter.
How do you do it?
Do what?
Stay warm.
The Khajiit looked into the fire. He did not answer quickly. This one does not stay warm, he said at last. This one remembers warmth. There is a difference. Orpheus leaned forward. The body becomes cold. The paws ache. The guards sneer. The children stare. The buyers hide their coin as if this one's hunger is theft. The roads are long, and sometimes the moons look away. He touched his chest. But here, there is a small elsewhere. Orpheus heard it as elsewhere. He also heard it as elsewhere. The place and the not place, the homeland and the possibility. The trick, said the Khajiit, is not to pretend the cold is warm. That is foolish. The trick is to carry one coal from the old fire and refuse to sell it, even when all other wares are gone. Orpheus looked down at his hand.
What if you never had the old fire?
The Khajiit watched him. Then you become the ancestor who lights it. The words were simple. Too simple. So simple that they had nowhere to hide. Orpheus looked away fast. The north winds moved through him. For a moment he felt the underworld behind his ribs, all its hails, all its dumb stone, all its music made from things that could not answer.
Ancestor,
he muttered.
I don't feel like anyone's his ancestor.
No one does while gathering sticks. The FunkKing wiped his face with the back of his wrist and pretended it was smoke. The Khajiit pretended to believe him. A long silence passed. Then Orpheus picked up the black guitar. He did not ask. The Khajiit did not stop him. The first chord came out crooked, like a drunk ghost falling downstairs. The second found the dirt. The third found the fire. Then the rhythm came. Low, mud thick, a graveyard funk. Something with hips and hunger, something that had crawled through Hades and came back wearing sunglasses, something stupid, wholly bruised, ridiculous, alive. The Khajiit's tail began to move. The bells on his pack answered. Tiny silver percussion. Orpheus grinned. Careful, cat, this groove's cursed. The Khajiit stood. All roads are cursed, some have better music. Then he danced. Not beautifully, not for an audience. He danced like someone warming his paws over rhythm. Like someone whose people had learned long ago that exile cannot own the body if the body still knows how to move. Orpheus played harder. The crossroad woke. The north road cracked its eyes. The south road exhaled spice. The third road, the nowhere road, began to glow faintly blue. Grand blue. Not the ocean. Not yet. Just the color of a thing remembered before it was found. Orpheus sang. Not about Eurydice. Not tonight. He sang about a city in the sand that still dreamed in brass. He sang about a boy who smiled with no sword in his hand. He sang about a monkey eating spaghetti beneath stage lights while the underworld tried to look serious and failed. He sang about cold provinces and cold closed gates. He sang about merchants outside the wall. He sang about wares nobody understood until the right travelers came. He sang about burning sand, then softer, about warm sand. The Khajiit danced slower. The fire rose. For one breath, the crossroad was not exile. It was camp. Not home, but not nothing. When the song ended, the world did not clap. The world rarely has manners. The Khajiit sat again, breathing lightly. Orpheus lowered his guitar.
That was new,
he said. Yes, said the Khajiit.
What road is that?
Orpheus nodded towards the blue one. The Khajiit looked. The one that appears when a man stops asking the dead to return his life to him. Orpheus frowned.
And where does it go?
The Khajiit smiled. Elsewhere.
That a joke?
Yes.
Also true?
Yes. Orpheus stood. The guitar hung at his side. The northern road still waited. The southern road still shimmered. The blue road curved into fog, carrying the faint smell of salt, rain, smoke, and festival food from a country that may not have existed yet. The Khajiit packed his wares. Orpheus watched him tie the last knot.
You coming?
This one has other crossings to attend.
Of course you do.
Many fools, many roads, many bad accountants. Orpheus smiled. Then the Khajiit stepped closer and placed something in his hand. A small blue glass bead. Inside it, something moved like trapped sunlight on water.
What's this?
A cheap thing, said the Khajiit.
Liar.
Yes. Orpheus closed his fist around it. The bead was warm, not burning. Warm. He looked at the Khajiit. For a second he wanted to say something grand, something worthy of the crossroads, something mythic enough to hide the fact that his throat had tightened. But the Khajiit only bowed his head. May your road find its rhythm, FunkKing. Orpheus swallowed. The blessing came before he could decorate it, before he could make it clever, before he could make it safe.
May your path lead to warm sands.
The Khajiit's eyes softened. Not surprised, not proud, just recognizing. Ah, he said. There it is. Orpheus looked down, almost embarrassed.
What?
The call. The Khajiit lifted his pack, bells chiming softly, and walked towards the north road, toward cold stone and closed gates and ignorant buyers. But he walked lightly, as if some part of elsewhere had remembered him. Orpheus stood alone at the crossroad, alone, but not empty. The blue road hummed. He put the bead in his coat pocket, adjusted the guitar strap, and started walking. Walk, 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 walk. Behind him the fires went out. Ahead of him the fog opened. And beneath his boots, for the first time in a long while, the dust did not hurt. It was only warm.